A very good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Today we will be focusing on the South-South region. But before we get into that, let's take a look at national headlines making the rounds at the moment. Medical doctors in Ogun State have commenced an indefinite industrial action over unresolved issues concerning their allowances. It was gathered that the industrial action, which commenced on Tuesday, is hinged on the pay disparity between federal and state medical workers. The chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association in the state, Dr. Kunle Ashimi, confirmed commencement of the strike at a press conference in Abeokuta, the state capital. According to him, the core of the doctors' grievances lies in the reviewed consolidated medical salary structure, which they believe should be implemented to stem the exodus of medical professionals from the state. We kick off in Rivers State, where earlier in the day, our Rivers State correspondent, Deborah Agbalama, reported that a group of thugs had positioned themselves directly opposite the federal secretariat where protesters gathered, intimidating and chasing away protesters. She also reports being surrounded and threatened by the thugs, who stated they were there to ensure no protest would take place today. She says over 20 police officers witnessed these events without putting a stop to it. In response to this development, the Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, expressed concern over the incident, promising a thorough investigation to ensure accountability and prevent future occurrences.
And so it's day 7 of the End Bad Governance / hunger protest in Port Harcourt. And just like every other day, I went out on my reportage duties and getting to the Federal Secretariat, which has been their monster point for some days now. I saw the place well guarded by the police. And then I asked, where are the protesters? And I was shown opposite the Secretariat where some guys were clustered. Perhaps I thought they were just waiting to kick off the protest. And then I made effort to take some footages to establish that the protest had started in Port Harcourt. As I was just done taking their footages, I turned to take some more footages, and then I saw myself in between over 10 guys. They clustered around me, and then they inquired to know who I was. I showed them my ID, and they said they were here to stop the protest, and said that the only way they would let me go free is if I delete those videos. And then they threatened to take my tab. I pleaded, and at that point I opened the tab for them. They basically used their own hands to delete the videos, and as well they went to the recycle bin to ensure that nothing was left. And afterwards they let me go, with 2 of them escorting me towards my car. And it was at this point that I entered my car, and I noticed that another protester who arrived there was bounced on by these guys, and they started beating him up. And then one other guy came to my car and told me that I should drive away, that's how they've been molesting protesters this morning. That 2 protesters had already been beaten up by these same guys. And so I wondered why the police would stare at such a very wrong incident without interfering or getting these persons arrested. However, the Commissioner of Police, when reached, quickly intervened and even went to the location the particular incident took place, and has actually called his men to order, assured to investigate what happened, why they didn't interfere, as well as also ensure that there is no infiltration of hoodlums into the protesters' procession. Well, it's been peaceful here for about 6 days going into day 7, and we hope it continues, because just as it is the right of citizens to vote, it is also their right to protest peacefully. From Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, Deborah Balama, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, the Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, has promised to clamp down on hoodlums taking advantage of the ongoing End Bad Governance protest to perpetrate crime. Mr. Disu made this known at the Federal Secretariat while on an inspection tour of the city, following reports of hoodlums harassing innocent citizens under the guise of the protest. He further revealed that 3 arrests have been made so far.
I give you my word, I'm going to find out what really happened here. But I'm aware that hoodlums have hijacked this protest from them. that I'm aware of. They have a lot of people moving around with them, harassing members of the public. About 1 hour ago, we just arrested 3 people who went around stealing POS among the protesters. We have thugs. We have people who have been stealing wipers from people's vehicles. They have been trying to burn tires everywhere, and policemen have been going immediately to extinguish them. So these are not protesters. Thugs are among them. So if thugs are here, maybe they came with them or something like that. But I give you my word, I'm going to investigate, and I will give you feedback about what I found out. But talking generally about the situation now, the things have changed. It's different from how they started the protest. They have started going from one part of the state, part of the town to another, blocking roads, trying to force people to join them. And even they have started threatening people not to open their offices and their shops. This has gone beyond peaceful protest.
We head over to Edo State, where the state government has refuted claims from the All Progressives Congress in the state that it hoarded palliatives provided through it for the vulnerable residents of the state, with the Commissioner for Communications insisting he is not aware the state has received any consignment of rice from the federal government. The APC in the state made the allegations during a press briefing in Benin City, the Edo State capital, following the emergence of a viral video which documented the looting of 10-kilogram bags of rice from a stationary truck in Uroro community, Benin City, Edo State. Our correspondent, Jessica Olugboshere, reports.
See, those states, they actually give us, they go hide down,
This viral video of residents of Urora community in Benin City, the Edo State capital, plundering a truckload of rice emerged on August 1 as the nationwide End Bad Governance protest was underway. The APC in Edo State says the state government is to be blamed for holding the rice, insisting that the rice had come from the federal government.
Last month, the federal government confirmed that 36 states, including Edo, has received 20 trucks of rice, yet Obaseki has failed to account for them. 8. In his usual deceptive style of governance, Obaseki has converted everything he received from the APC federal government on behalf of Edo people to donations made by his administration. 9. He has achieved this by repackaging the rice and other grains in branded mini bags with Edo insignia.
The allegation is met with a strong denial.
Once I hear federal government say they allocated 20 trucks to every state, whether we receive it or not, I cannot confirm or deny that. But I do not. What I know is that we are interested in giving palliatives to our people, which we have been doing effectively through the religious bodies. And as today, we have delivered 150,000 bags of rice, and that rice was purchased by the can from the resources made available by the state government. It was 1 billion naira, 2 billion naira in the last 3 or 4 months.
A visit to Ikome Street in Urora, Benin City, hours after the incident, reveals the damage to one of the residential buildings where the looted rice truck had been parked.
Nah, today now we call say as boys come say on the bus everywhere. We call say they pack rice, pack garden, equal everything for them. We don't know.
The occupants of the building narrate the experience.
They carry everything, destroy the roof. When we read, destroy everything. Now roof for all of them. Pack at us, pack all soup, carry everything property where we buy. For us, they carry them. Now we just do so. Today now we don't know where we want to sleep now. Today we our family. They boss everywhere because of government rice. The rice where they carry come. Now government those state palliative. Now the rice put. Now they store for us. Tenant where we can dey front of the house where be critical. Now then they saw the rice. We may not know.
The explanation also contains allegations.
Okay, now you know.
Yes, this one is the almost 20-ton truck. Let's try this one, 20 truck.
Let the carry come.
Then they can't come this morning. Mass is called for and they come in, they pack the rice. After they finish, the truck, they empty the truck finish. Another set of people come. You see, they take rice in this compound. Like be the massacre everywhere. They scatter everywhere. We don't know what they happen.
The neighbor in question tells his side of the story.
I was not aware, my children gone with me when I was still sleeping. That's how I know all these things, Rachel. When police come, as the police come out, the people go reinforce, come back again. Let's say that's it there. Now, when they first come back, it was then they started removing the seal, breaking the seal. Some even fall through the seal down.
Christian Association of Nigeria provides some clarification.
That reserve for the churches not under can have been vandalized, and rumors are spreading that it is the rice that is donated by federal government that is being repaid by the state government and distributed as 10 kg rice. Nothing can be further from the truth.
As the controversy rages on, the police have disclosed the arrest of 2 suspects allegedly involved in the looting of the 10 kg bags of rice. Jessica Olubuse, Channels Television News.
So if there's a dream.
In neighboring Delta states, in a bid to prevent flooding across the states, the state government and Oil Producing Area Development Commission, in collaboration with the State Ministry of Environment, has embarked on a mission to clear major drainage channels and canals. During an inspection of the ongoing clearing exercise, the commissioners urged residents to refrain from dumping refuse in drains, highlighting the negative impact it will have on flood-prone communities whenever it rains.
Delta State is one of the 31 states in the country at risk of flooding. Whenever it rains, most communities are affected, especially those close to the riverbanks, causing temporary displacement from homes and business areas. Over the years, the state government has worked to construct storm drainage systems to tackle perennial flooding in major cities. However, the indiscriminate dumping of refuse by residents has been a hindrance to the free flow of water, worsening the situation. As part of the preparation to limit the havoc usually created, the state government, through its interventionist agency, the Delta State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, is intensifying efforts to clear the drainage channels with a focus on flood-prone areas.
These critical areas that are prone to flooding, we intervene to make sure the effect is minimized, and that is why we have started with these areas. We were here last year. Apart from Isoko, we also get to Ndokwa, we eventually get to Ika, and make sure those places we touched last year, we're also going to touch them to minimize the effect of the flooding.
Chairman of the Commission, John Nani, who leads the team, cautions residents against blocking the free flow of water with refuse.
We know full well that this area is always flooded every year, and we come here every year to make sure that before the flooding comes, we are proactive to see that the waterway here, which carry a lot of water from the communities down this way, from Akwa to Gono, from Ogun, it will not discharge into Agbaro River. So what we are doing now is to make sure that the waterway is open and the block culverts are opened. That's what we are doing now. We're using Swambugi to open it up. We will not wait for the flood to come first to affect the people. The governor has directed that all these channels will open.
Some residents of the area are hopeful that this will reduce the effect of flooding.
We are very happy about what we saw this week. Formerly, when there is rain, the whole place used to be flooded.
Because once rain falls, there is no place for us to pass. Everywhere is flooded. Everywhere is flooded. But when this thing now will help the channel.
This is one out of many interventions being implemented to reduce the perennial flooding in communities most affected. The exercise, which will be replicated across the state, is expected to last for 2 weeks.
Welcome back. Governor Doye Diri of Bayelsa State has criticized the current system of local government creation in Nigeria, describing it as unjust and imbalanced. Speaking during a media briefing with journalists in Bayelsa State, Governor Diri asserted that the issue of local government autonomy, as pronounced by the Supreme Court, is fundamentally a constitutional matter.
My own quarrel about local government is that there is injustice in the Federation of Nigeria concerning the creation of local governments and the number of local governments that we have as a state. And I've said this over and over, and I will say it again here today. Granting autonomy to local governments, it should have been first and foremost a constitutional issue. Because the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria recognizes two federating units. And those two federating units are the federal government of Nigeria and the state governments of Nigeria. And the local governments will be legislated upon by the state assemblies. And so there is a whole lot of lacuna in this so-called local government autonomy thing. But that's not my issue. My quarrel is that there is injustice in Nigeria. There is an imbalance, and that imbalance and injustice has to be addressed.
We head over to Cross River State, where Governor Bassey Otu has assured residents in the Northern Senatorial District of a complete facelift of their infrastructures in no distant time, in an initiative aimed at fostering socio-economic growth for residents and rural dwellers. Speaking during the flag-off ceremony of major roads in Ogoja local government area of Cross River State, the Deputy Governor, Peter Ode, emphasized that the Governor Otu's administration will continue to implement developmental projects to enhance the overall well-being of the residents.
Located in the northern parts of Cross River State, Ogoja local government area is the headquarters of the Northern Senatorial District, which is a 6-hour drive from Calabar, the state capital. One of their major challenges is good roads to connect them with other local government areas and communities. So for the state government, this 12-kilometer road project at Ndok Junction, close to Abakpa, Igoli and Moniaya Road, will become a game changer.
Ogoja local government is the first, not even in Calabar, as the governor awarded 12 kilometers of road. For my brothers from Mbube, don't worry, it will get to you. Let us do the one. This is the headquarters. Let us start from here first. Let's make this place beautiful. After we have done from here, we are going to move to Mbube. We'll move to Ikajo. We'll move to Ikum. We'll move to everywhere in Ogoja local government.
The Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Engineer Paya Sedet, stresses the importance of involving the locals in the construction and rehabilitation process.
For those of us who are from Ogoja who have one or two businesses to do with construction, please do a work to the contractor and tell them this is what you can do. Because we have instructed the contractor that local content is a must in this government. If it is sand, you can supply. If it's cement, you can sell. Whatever thing you know you can do, walk up to the contractor and show him your capacity. But if you are asking the contractor to carry money and give to you, say take money, go and do it. That one we will not guarantee it though.
Residents express gratitude for the intervention to address their plight.
The vision of our governor must prevail and must manifest. And as it goes, because we have seen who will take us out of the poverty, out of the situation we are, the Lord will continue to strengthen him in Jesus' name.
In the name of the Father, amen, and of the Son, amen, and of the Holy Spirit.
With the official flag-off of the construction and rehabilitation across Ogoja local government area, the Cross River State government is encouraging the locals to closely monitor the project to ensure its successful and timely completion.
The Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Umo Eno, has called for a repositioning of the state's public service to encourage teamwork and bridge the gaps between policy proposals and implementation of programs and projects with specified timelines. Governor Eno made the call while declaring open a 5-day workshop organized by the state government in collaboration with the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, on leadership and good governance for permanent secretaries and directors in the Akwa Ibom State Public Service at the Ibom-led Center, Uyo.
This 5-day capacity building workshop for permanent secretaries and directors with the theme Leadership and Good Governance is part of government's effort at enhancing and retooling its workforce for optimal productivity by refreshing and broadening the repertoire of knowledge for maximum efficiency.
There is a popular saying which goes thus: if you don't train them, don't blame them. It is therefore a demonstration of great foresight by His Excellency, Mr. Governor, to train these distinguished participants who form the strategic core of leadership in the state, so as to provide every reason for success and a foundation for accountability for results in Akwa Ibom State.
The head of civil service and facilitator of the program, Mr. Effiong Essien, and the chairman of the State Civil Service Commission, Mrs. Ikerabong Umor, expressed gratitude to the management staff to the governor for approving and funding the training.
The training will also update participants' knowledge of government rules and regulations, stress management planning for retirement, as well as develop strategic leadership and human resources competencies for optimal performances.
For those that know, we have the 8 pillars of good governance. That has to do with the rule of law, that has to do with transparency, that has to do with accountability, that has to do with equity and inclusiveness. In your administration, you have shown this. You do not take in people that are able-bodied alone. You've taken in those that are living with various disabilities, because your government is for every person. I want to thank you.
Affirming his administration's value for capacity development, Governor Eno appreciated the ASCEN team for heeding his call to bring the training to Akwa Ibom State and urged participants to take advantage of the opportunity to sharpen their skills.
Dear participants, may I use this opportunity to inform you that this training is part of our ongoing effort at retooling our workforce for optimal productivity. As your repertoire of knowledge is refreshed, broadened, and impacted with modern trends and approaches in the organized leadership and governance, especially in the public service of our dear state. To ensure that more workers benefit from this training, we thought it wise to bring seasoned resource persons from the renowned citadel of learning, the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, down to Uyo for the workshop.
The governor, who used the opportunity to take a tour of the facilities at the Ibom-led Center, applauded the management team for the enormous work to reinvigorate the Ibom e-library, which was becoming moribund.
To my left, and to take you to the...
As part of efforts to unlock the potentials of youths, the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has launched this youth internship scheme aimed at improving the lives of 10,000 youths across the 9 states of the oil-rich region. At the official launch of the scheme in Port Harcourt, the chairman NDDC Governing Board, Mr. Chiedu Ebie, explained that the program is part of measures to drive the renewed hope agenda of President Tinubu's administration and empower youths of the Niger Delta.
6 days after announcing the birth of his youth internship scheme, the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, is launching the program to position youths of the region for employment and entrepreneurship. The scheme, which seeks to address youth unemployment in the Niger Delta, will enroll 10,000 young people across the 9 states of the oil-rich region, which will be placed on a 50,000 naira monthly stipend throughout a 12-month period.
The NDDC Youth Internship Scheme is not merely a financial intervention. It is a symbol of our commitment to nurturing and empowering the next generation.
For the NDDC Managing Director, Samuel Ogboko, the youth internship scheme was carefully planned to give beneficiaries meaningful and self-sustaining skills that will improve their lives, support their families and communities, and ensure peace is maintained in the region.
I want to let all of us know that all the programs we have earmarked for the youth, which today we are launching the youth internship scheme as one of them, they are not afterthoughts or reaction to the planned protests. All these programs were carefully thought out and they were included in the budget of NDDC 2024.
Launching the scheme, the chairman, NDDC Governing Board, Mr. Chiedu Ebie, provides guidelines for intending applications, pegging the age limit at 45.
Please do not go to anybody saying, come and help me, come and do this. You must register online. If you don't register online, you can't get into the program. If you're over 45, please do not apply. I beg of you, please do not apply.
The scheme is open to young people in the Niger Delta across different levels of education and experience.
Our democracy must be transformed from the thin paperwork of promise to thick action based on performance. This program was promised just about 6 days ago, and today we are at its launch. It's a positive development and it resonates well with our people. The expectations of the people of the Niger Delta is much more than what this program means.
The benefiting youths will be empowered in the areas of technology, automobile, agriculture, maritime, community service, among others. The registration is strictly online via www.nys.nddc.gov.ng.
And that's where we draw the curtains on this edition of Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iriwu. Stay safe.